Hey guys, it's Adriel from Style Assisted, and you guys have been requesting this video for a year, and I'm finally doing it. Today we're going to talk about brows. Get excited. So, for all of my adorable fair-skinned, red-haired ladies, this is one of the #1 things that I get asked about all the time. You guys ask about it on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, in person, at photo shoots, everywhere. That's the one thing that I get questions about is brows, because if you are a redhead, you know it is really hard to find something that actually matches and looks good, because a lot of times our brow hairs are light or they're sparse or, in my case, crazy bushy and you've got to tame them and sort of get them squared away so that they frame your face and make you look a little bit more put together. So let's do products first. I have 4 products that I use fairly frequently. And I use a clear brow gel sometimes, but clear, you can get it anywhere. I use the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I love it, but you can get some from Ulta, you can get some from Target, CVS, etc., etc. Now, these 4 little guys, let's get into it. The first one I use the most often is actually the Hourglass Brow Arch Sculpting Pencil. So it has a spoolie on one end and has a twist up brow pencil on the other, and this is in the shade Auburn. This matches, that's what I have on right now, and I love it. However, as with all things Hourglass, it's insanely expensive. So I would definitely try, and I will swatch all of these for you so you can see which one matches you the best, because if you're looking for a darker brow, you may want to go with the specific color on one of the other ones. But if you want a lighter one, I always suggest using a little bit of this and then combing it through. I'll show you later. Next up is the cheapest and one of the best products. This is actually the NYX Eyebrow Pencil in the color light brown. They say light brown, this sucker is red. So this is the best, well, and most similar thing that I can find to the Hourglass. They're actually fairly similar in color and fairly similar in formulation and delivery system. So these two, pretty good. I actually use this one a lot, but the spoolie end is a little thinner, and I like mine big so that I can brush it out, and this is a little more precise if you need precise, but love this. And this goes with me when I travel, just in case it gets lost or whatever. It's not super expensive to fix. Replace. Well, sometimes you break them. And then last but not least are the Anastasia Beverly Hills items, and this one is the Brow Wiz, which everyone talks about, in caramel, and this is the caramel brow powder dual thingy. I don't use the powder very often unless I have accidentally overplucked or unless there's some sort of situation, because I have pretty full brows, always have. They're bushy and ridiculous. So that being said, the Brow Wiz stuff I really do love. The end of the pencil is actually super thin, so you can use it to make individual little hairs if you want to. If you don't want it to be more uniform and you'd like it to look a little bit more on the messy, less manicured side, Brow Wiz are great for that. And the spoolie end is super tiny, so you can really get to the areas that you need to. But I like the big spoolie because I have a lot of brows. Now, disclaimer. Anastasia Beverly Hills, Anastasia sent these to me 6 months ago, 8 months ago. It was a partnership with them and Ulta. And I flat out told them, okay, well, good luck finding something that matches, because Anastasia Beverly Hills previously had a color called Strawburn, which matched my brows perfectly, and I loved them, and it was amazing. And this was pre-Brow Wiz, like back in the day. And then they discontinued it, and I was super mad at them because they hadn't found a color that had matched up until this point. Luckily for me, they finally did. They sent it to me. I loved it. It's great. But anytime I'm given anything for free, I totally give you guys a heads up just in case. It does not affect my opinion, because if it was crap, I would totally tell you that. But I always like to give you sort of the disclaimer, just so that you know and you don't think that I'm being paid to say anything. So those are the 4. Let me do a swatch for you guys real quick. Hold on a second. So the swatches. As you guys can see, I did Hourglass, then the NYX, then the Anastasia Beverly Hills pencil. Now, as you can tell, the first 2, that NYX is a straight dupe for the Hourglass. I am not kidding. They are the exact same color. And I put it on pretty hard so that you guys could see the pigmentation, but you can also, since it's so pigmented, you can use a tiny bit of it and it will go a long way. I just did a little bit darker so that you guys could actually see what it looked like. Now, the caramel one, caramel, what do you guys say? one from Anastasia Beverly Hills is more on the brown side. So if you have darker hair or you feel like that these two are a little on the red side and you need something a little bit more brown, then I would definitely go for this one over here. But those are the three. I hope you guys can see them, but I know it doesn't look super dramatically different, but they matter. And let me just tell you, light brown with all the other shades that I've tried out from every other brand, not good. And I know a lot of you guys had said that I should try all of these different websites, but I know for me personally, and I'm sure some of you are this way too, I want to try it on before I get it home. A lot of times when I get things shipped, if I don't like it, then I have to ship it back, and I'd rather be able to just go in, swatch it on my hand, and say, yep, this will work. So here you go. These are my top brow pencils. Love them. Let's do a tutorial on how to tame these suckers, shall we? Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick zoom in so you can kind of see what I'm working with, and then I'll just walk you through all the different steps of the process. Okay, so as you guys can see, my natural brows, I don't know if you can see, but there's fuzz everywhere. I have so much fuzz. So what I do is I get them cleaned up professionally. I get them waxed, and then as they grow in, I pluck them out. So I use my Tweezerman tweezers, and I just go through and pluck all of these stray hairs right here in the middle and right there as well. If you're at home and you can't see all of your tiny little hairs, the first thing I would do is actually put some foundation over your eyebrows, because it lets all of those tiny little clear red hairs show up so you can actually see them to pluck. But I always like to use a word of caution with these. I go up through the middle and then go underneath, working my way backwards, but I don't get super close to my eyebrows, because if you shave off some hair, you shave off some hair, and that's not good. I only use these suckers, which you can get for like 10 bucks at anywhere they sell any sort of razor. I only like to do the fuzzy hairs. I don't do any of the actual sculpting with this thing ever for any reason. So let me do that. And that's it. Now we're gonna go to shaping and filling in. Alright, so my favorite way to actually shape my brows when I'm trying to make sure that they're even is to use the Brow Wiz, or to be really careful with my regular pencil. And I basically draw a line underneath to make sure that there aren't any stray hairs below it that I need to pluck. So starting in the inside corner, just a little bit inside of between my nose and where my eyebrow should go, I do a straight line up and down. Can you guys see that? And I start on that inner corner on the bottom, and I draw a line. Best thing about it is you can smudge it off if you get it wrong. But that way I can kind of see, hey, there's a missed hair right here, and I can pluck it. Do the same thing on the other side. Now, let me zoom in so you guys can see that. Okay, as you guys can see, I drew a line right here so I can see exactly where I need to go. Let me just do the tail. And do the same thing on the other side. So for example, you can see there are a couple little hairs right here that I could pluck if I wanted to, but that helps me really make sure that this part underneath is cleared up. And you always want to make sure when you're shaping your brows to shape from the bottom up, not from the top down, if that makes any sense. Okay? Okay, so since I have tweezed, used my little trimmer, and in general just went around and cleaned everything up, then I used the Brow Wiz underneath to shape everything. Now I will go in either with this hourglass. Like, what is this thing? Oh, I'll go into the hourglass or the NYX, and then first thing I do is I do a little bit on the bottom and I just try to fill it in. If you want a fuller brow, you can draw a line on the bottom to shape it and a line on the top, but I wanted to go for a little more natural brow, so I make sure to fill in sort of only darker in the areas that I can sort of see skin underneath, because you're going to use the spoolie next to pull everything back. Now, if you want to trim your eyebrows, you definitely can. What I suggest is taking a spoolie and pulling them all down like that, and then you can just trim along with some little scissors. But mine actually didn't need trim today, so I didn't need to do that. But the more you push your spoolie through and drag it, the more it'll spread out that product, and so it won't be a harsh line. If you want a harsh line and want some really defined brows, you can totally do that. But as you can see, mine are now blended out. And that's it. You guys can put a little iridescent some sort of powder or eye pencil. They actually have some Anastasia Beverly Hills. One second, I had it. Ta-da! It's their brow highlighting duo pencil. So you can take these and take the lighter one and just go underneath to accentuate how awesome your brows are now that you clean them up. But I like a little bit of a shimmer. And I try not to do a white. You don't want something super iridescent. The only time I put really light, shiny, shimmery eyeshadow is in the corners of my eyes. The rest of the time, if I do brow, I don't usually do white. I'll do a champagne or something like this that's a little more on the pinky side. But it just gives you a little bit of definition and helps your brows pop a little bit. So that is how I do my brows. Hopefully that helped you guys out. If you have any questions or have any more videos that you would like me to film, just let me know down below. Feel free to leave a comment. I always love hearing from you guys. And as always, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already for more videos like this. I really, really appreciate you guys watching. I love all of you guys. If you have any questions or want to say hi, you know you can always go over to my website, styleassisted.com, or hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. Both are at styleassisted. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye! First place that I showcase it. So, if you're not already following me on Snapchat, you should really do it. I think I'm going to start doing giveaways there as well, too, because you guys are like my daily people, you know? You get to see every single day sort of the life of me and all of the junk that I get and try out for you guys. And you get to see a little bit of just my regular normal life with the baby, who is super cute, although he's a toddler now, which is weird. But anyway, Snapchat. So some of you guys have seen a few of these things, but most of it is new. So I'm really excited, and I will start off with some of my beauty favorites.